everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA Sports. Today, there's going to be a pair of wide receivers looking to make big plays on the field. It's Jeffrey's Eagles going up against Benjamin's Panthers. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Just a moment ago, the lights, the cameras, the action, all the pyrotechnics, everything was ablaze, everything was allowed here in Bank of America Stadium as Carolina emerged from their tunnel. And we are ready to go as the Panthers get set to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. And we say hi again, one and all. Brandon Guyton here as we count you down to kickoff. And I turn to my partner, that's Charles Davis. And, Charles, I know even a former defensive back like you can admire some of the receivers in the game today. And Larry showed us a couple that are very likely to stand out in this one.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to admit that I actually admire receivers. But with their acrobatics, with their speed, with their moxie, and the way they go up and get the football, they can change the outcome of a game in an instant.
The Panthers kicker, Graham Gano, set and ready to go as we are off from Charlotte. This fielded at the 2. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading them is their second-year quarterback, also the number 2 overall pick a season ago, Carson Wentz.
Many wondered if the Eagles gave up way too much to get the number 2 pick from Cleveland in order to draft Carson Wentz. But after his freshman campaign in the NFL, I think people believe they see positive signs from a big, strong-arm guy, an intelligent guy, and a really competitive player.
First carry for LeGarrette Blount. And, right away, he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
A near turnover, but the offense recovers it. Now they'll try to regroup on second. To throw is Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. First down, Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Let's take a look now at the Philadelphia offensive starting lineup. For them, the run game so far this season been a good surprise, hasn't it?
It's been a big surprise, but it's been one that they've needed in a big way to take some of the pressure off of the second-year quarterback, Carson Wentz. You know, they lost Darren Sproles to injury earlier, but still, LeGarrette Blount, who they picked up in the offseason, Wendell Smallwood, and now the undrafted rookie out of Wisconsin, Corey Clement, they hung 214 rushing yards on the Chargers in their win in their last game.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still second down.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. And they'll go Wentz to Blunt here. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. And the starting crew defensively for Carolina.
When I saw that the Carolina Panthers were ranked 21st in total defense in 2016, I thought it was a misprint. This is a very talented defense, but they didn't play up to those standards in 2016. Perhaps the loss of Josh Norman at corner hurt them in the secondary. Luke Kuechly, their middle linebacker and their heart and soul of their defense, wasn't able to play a complete season, and they didn't get the same pass rush in 2016 that they had in the previous year when they went to the Super Bowl.
Now Wentz on third down. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here is the punter Jones as he gets this one away. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Now a first carry for Jonathan Stewart. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. This is Stewart again. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing is Nutan. And he can't get away. Nutan can't escape the pressure, and it's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. And an alley to run. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They start on the ground here with Blunt. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
So under the category of, while it can't be us because we're not that good, but could you imagine if this was you? LeGarrette Blunt, his first 1,000-yard season since, what, 2010, his rookie year? And 18 touchdowns in the regular season, and no longer with New England.
He is over 30 now. He turned 30 in December. I don't know if that played a factor, but yeah, such a productive year, and then he's gone.
Well, that just tells you this. Now he's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder trying to prove something.
They'll run again with Blunt. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Charles Johnson's stock in trade is coming off the edge and getting to the quarterback. He knows how to make some of those subtle moves inside to help in the run game, and he did it right there.
He's an athlete back in high school, played football, basketball, track, so he's a mobile guy.
Mobile guy, made a nice play against the run.
On play action, it's Wentz. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught inside the 25. They give him a gain of 38.
Another big play by Alshon Jeffrey. I think his best days are ahead of him. I think he's ideally suited to help this young quarterback Carson Wentz develop.
He had 13 career 100-yard games coming into the season, and you know in the city of brotherly love, they're hoping for more.
Yeah, just think about Alshon Jeffrey, the catch radius and ability to make plays downfield against smaller defensive backs.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Wentz now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on. And as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know. But you're going to get hit anyways. Might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Wentz going to give this one to Blunt. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him. And some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will give us the very rare scoreline of 5-0. So it's our first offensive points of the game so far, and it gives us a very rare scoreline. We don't see this one often, 5-0.
Yeah, it's been sort of a weird one to this point, hasn't it? But hey, in this league, you take points any way you can get them.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
They'll start the drive with a run by Stewart. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
By the way, partner, that was a 30-year-old running back carrying the ball there.
Yeah, turned 30 back in March, did Stewart.
Yeah, I know that people say that you're not supposed to at the age of 30, but Jonathan Stewart, good style, good physicality. He'll continue to run it.
Hoping to keep him healthy. Hasn't played a full 16 games since 2011. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. They keep it on the ground again to Stewart. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
Now Stewart on 1st down. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
But they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll try the air now with Nutan. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Nutan. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And tough starting field position here. They'll begin here with Blunt. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing out 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They go play action here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford. He used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, foul it away, lad, foul it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. They may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depended on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about that used to say laddie a lot.
Laddie, when you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad,
And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Ertz over the middle. And he is knocked down from the side. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Blunt. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. It's the Eagles with the early lead. We're back to Uptown Charlotte after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Play fake to Blunt. Now it's Wentz. Going for the deep ball. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Look, Carolina had a number of issues last year, and that's why they slumped to 6 and 10 after a Super Bowl appearance. But pass rush wasn't a problem for them. They still got to the quarterback.
47 total sacks. That was just one behind Arizona, who led the league.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue for them, young corners, they gave up a lot of big plays.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, this from 53. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And thanks to his safety and 2 field goals, this is now an 8-0 game. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again here. Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
Ten yards still left on 2nd down. Following the penalty, here's Stewart. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing on 3rd down, Nutan. And he gets it to Funchess complete. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. Nutan finding Funchess for the Panther 1st down. On 1st and 10, Nutan. And he's got room. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. Here's Nutan now on 2nd down. On the catch, this is Russell Shepard. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
To throw on 2nd down is Nutan. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended target that time was Jonathan Stewart, and it's 3rd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Panthers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. The Panthers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, here's Nutan. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Now a man who subbed in for Andy Lee down the stretch last year, Michael Pilardi, to kick it away, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Eagles. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. The drive starts with a handoff to Blount. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expected to come after the quarterback. But in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deep as the deepest offensive player so he can't get outside of you.
Again, here's Blount. And some room to roam now. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 13 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And, boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
Now a carry for Blount. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
On play action, Wentz. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And that'll bring up second down. And fans, a quick reminder from the NFL, after nearly a decade of working together in the fight against breast cancer, this year the NFL and the American Cancer Society, they're broadening the scope of their efforts to tackle multiple types of cancer. And you can learn more about the expanded Crucial Catch initiative and access the Defender, a new digital tool that provides personalized tips on reducing your cancer risk at NFL.com/Crucial Catch.
And I applaud the NFL for broadening its scope here, because cancer affects us all in many different ways, and now everyone will have the ones that they can focus on and be able to support.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just heading straight for the quarterback. That was good.
Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Starlatulele. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's Donnie Jones now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Second down, they run with Stewart. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now whistles. Flag down, and I believe one of the Panthers got moving early. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third and a few inches. McCaffrey following the penalty. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he'll punt it away for the second time. This will be fielded at the 17. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Play action. Now Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it here with Blunt. And now running right through it. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short. That's what you're supposed to do, like you said. After this, that will send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something that broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right?
It's got to be good.
You tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it.
Wentz now on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Charles, want to make a quick pivot and get your thoughts on the running back injuries from last week in the NFL. Gosh, we had Dalvin Cook, Chris Carson, Ty Montgomery as well go down.
You hate to see injuries. How about Dalvin Cook and Chris Carson, both rookies, who had taken over as the lead running backs for their respective teams, Minnesota and Seattle. You hate to see them gone. Ty Montgomery transitioned to become a running back last year. He's the lead guy for Green Bay. Rib injury. They say it's not as serious as suspected, but still, a rib injuries for a running back, that's tough to deal with.
Yeah, and really tough for Dalvin Cook with a torn ACL done for the season. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
I've yet to meet a wide receiver who likes to block more than catching the football, but the best ones understand that that's how they'll actually get more passes thrown to them if they help in the run game. And anytime you get a run of that yardage, that means the wide receivers did help. They get down to what a lot of people call the second level, the linebackers, or the third level where the defensive backs are, and they get out in front and put their bodies out there and create more space for their runners to gain the yardage.
Throwing on first is Wentz. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Second down now after the pass completion. Working from the gun, Wentz. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That was very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done. Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
The Eagles on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Wentz. Bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And this is something that you know that they're emphasizing, you know they're working on, but it has to improve. Carson Wentz lost 14 fumbles as a rookie, and the NFL is just different. When you're in the pocket, you're always at risk of that ball being jostled out.
And if memory serves, those 14 fumbles tied with Carson Palmer for most in the NFL. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Following the fumble recovery, Nutan. It's hauled in by Shepard. And he goes out right around the 39. A gain of 6 there on first.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. A shotgun snap for Nutan. Caught left side by Funchess. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Now Nutan on first down. And Noah escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. On second down, here's Nutan. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. The tight end, Ed Dixon, was the target, and it's third down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Third and long, it's Nutan. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey, and he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be fourth down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And he's going to miss this one. That is no good. Well outside the left upright, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Panthers right now have a time of possession advantage, but it has not led them to taking control of this game. The Eagles, though, are still right in this game and will certainly be looking for a way to pull this one out in the second half. All right, let's roll those highlights. Panthers come out on 3rd and 4. Cox has got the sack here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. They will go ahead by 2. Third down at the 21. Nutan's under pressure and throws the pick. McLeod's in position, and he's the one who comes away with the ball. Third down from the 48. Graham's going to get the quarterback here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage. Now after the fumble, Cox is going to take down the QB here. This will go as a loss of 10. That'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get you up to North Carolina for the second half with Brandon and Charles. Gents.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now a play fake here on first down. Funches with a catch over the middle. 23 yards on the play. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. And the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And they'll get him to the ground, but he got all the way down to the 30-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Out of the gun, Nutan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now a 10th carry for Jonathan Stewart. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Nutan. Got his target, Samuel. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Nutan. This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
punch it in. Stewart. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And this offense on third down today, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Operating from the gun, Nutan. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So now off goes Nutan, and on comes the kicker, Graham Gano. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Gano's kick is right through. And they get on the board, trailing now 8-3. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Play fake to Blunt. Now it's Wentz. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
Wentz now giving to Blunt on the draw. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. To throw is Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw, it's Wentz. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Charles Johnson in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed.
Super toe.
Two sides to every coin. This is the bad side of missing the 58-yarder. Now they start at the 48. They go play action with Stewart. Now Nutan. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Stewart on the counter. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. Nutan gives off to Stewart. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Nutan. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Fresh set of downs here. Nutan turns and hands to Stewart. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Red zone opportunity. Draw play, Nutan to Stewart. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Nutan. This will be caught at about the 6. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. The busy night continuing for Stewart. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Ball spotted at the 4. It's 2nd and goal. Here's Stewart. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Jonathan Stewart taking it in from 4 yards out. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. From the gun, here's Nutan. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. And in the 3rd quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
Gano out to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
And they'll go Wentz to Blunt here. Now this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And this is Hurts with it, right side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Wentz on the bootleg. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mario Addison in there to get him for a loss of 9. And that'll lead to 4th down.
Oh, man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. On first down, it's Nutan. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. They'll try and grind some clock. It's Stewart. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Operating from the gun, Nutan. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The offense on third down tonight, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Jonathan Stewart, his 20th carry. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On second down, Mccaffrey. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Throwing on third down, Nutan. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. The handoff comes to Stewart. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Here's Nutan now on second down. Fighting through pressure. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long. Nutan now to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers.
That's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Graham Gano on for the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. Gano out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. LeGarrette Blount was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Wentz will try again on second down. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run again with Blunt. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Working from the gun, Wentz. Pass incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to air one out. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Donnie Jones now. He's been terrific so far. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And the Panthers coming out now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. A dump off here to Stewart. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This is Stewart. Space to maneuver at the 40. Oh, and now some space to operate. He's at the 40. 20. 10. Touchdown, Carolina. Jonathan Stewart, his second touchdown of the night. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
You break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Gano for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Gano out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. First and 10. Here's Wentz. Powers through. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Mario Addison in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On second down, here's Wentz. Completes it to Aguilar. And down he'll go at the 25. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
3rd down, it's Wendell Smallwood. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Wentz now on first down. It's complete. This is Brent Selleck. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Mac Hollins, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So 2nd and 10 here. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points. And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. Wentz now to throw. And that one complete to Wendell Smallwood. And he is down deep into Carolina territory. And give him a gain of 37. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now Wentz. Smith catches left side. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a solid pickup of 11, and it's 2nd down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Eagle foot as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 4 yards remaining now on second down. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
So that one will be accepted. Second down, 9 yards to go. To throw is Wentz. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's got it. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Someone moved. Flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Again, it's Wentz. And he is out of bounds here. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork to get in bounds and make a great catch.
Wentz to throw again. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, third down.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line. And they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Carson Wentz taking it in. And the Eagles get a score closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now Stewart on first down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They keep it on the ground again to Stewart. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Nutan going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation. And this one going to wrap up with Cam Newton going down to a knee. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.